Alright guys, welcome back to a brand new video. So let's get started. This week at Bungie article is up and running, and today we're going to be talking about what they're going to be having in store for this summer events. So yes, summertime is here, and usually gaming content tends to slow down, and everybody, wait till August or September until the new freshest games comes out. Of course, Destiny don't want to be all these other games, slowing down and not keeping, the genre and keep going. But they want to keep it going until Destiny 2 Forsaken gets released on September 4th of this year. And of course, they're going to be having some power level 400 gear dropping for us, months before Destiny 2 Forsaken. So right now, that's a lot of people are talking about on Twitter. Everybody's breaking down the most important stuff. A lot's going to be happening throughout the Crucible. As you can see on your screen, this is the calendar. Mark your calendars. This is the month of July. This is the whole weeks of months of July that you're going to be watching out for. Of course, July 3rd through the 9th, we do have the faction rallies. Of course, Mayhem Crucible playlist, and of course, Bungie Day. If you guys don't remember, Bungie Day is something really exciting. Usually things go on sale and all that good stuff at the store. July 10th through the 16th, the Iron Banner does come back. And of course, Guardians Con will be here in South Florida, down in Tampa from July 13th to the 14th. So make sure you guys get your tickets. And July 17th to the 23rd, we have that most important update, update 1.213. Of course, they said the final faction rallies of season 3. So there won't be no more faction rallies in August because they're getting ready for September. And of course, Supremacy Crucible playlist. And then of course, July 24th to the 30th, they will announce the winner. And then we have the double Crucible playlist. But the most importantly for July 31st is Solstice of Heroes begins. It's something that reminds me of the Age of Triumphs, where you complete all those record books and you get like little emblems and stuff like that and that cool stuff. So it kind of reminds me of that. Here is the early preview for the Crucible playlist update. Quick play, increase players configuration to 6 versus 6, and update the playlist of description. Removing Supremacy from the pool of available game modes. Update control win score to 150. Control zones will initially be neutral. Clash, update clash win score to 100. Competitive, the bomb fuse timer and countdown were lowered from 40 seconds to 35 seconds. General Rumble will become a full-time playlist, and Supremacies will add a weekly feature playlist updating to 6 versus 6 with a win score of 150. Crucible ranks update. Players will also able to earn Valor rank from additional playlists. Competitiveness, the Crucible Labs, the Iron Banner, and Trials of 9. They keep talking about this Crucible Labs, but I haven't really come across the Crucible Labs. And like I said, I haven't been touching my Destiny content like I normally should, but hopefully I would next month of July. Joining the game in process will protect your Valor win streak for that game. That means if you just join the game, they used to count that as a win-loss. And people used to hate that, like, well, I just joined this game. This game already in progress. You're going to count this as a loss. So no more. If you lose, no penalties occur in the Valor win streak. If you win, the win streak will increase. Player matches using the goal of rank. This means your opponents will be similar rank to you. The higher you climb, the tougher their opponent is going to be. Glory loss streaks will be retuned to less punishment over time. Consecutive losses will decrease the rank points lost instead of increasing it. Streaks will still cap off at 5. All rank streaks will no longer reset once you hit that cap. There's many more changes coming to Destiny 2 coming in July. We're giving away a few more patches, no previews leading up to the release, providing developer insights and complimentary when it's possible. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. A lot of things they talked about, of course. I'm not going to get into too much in details. I'm just going to be talking about the most important stuff, like the things coming in July, the gear dropping at 400 light level before Destiny 2 Forsaken. So that is really, really amazing. But most importantly, Crucible has been the main topic that a lot of people has been talking about. Meaning wise, it's just not the same like how it was in Destiny 1. I can completely understand where a lot of those people are coming from on that situation, but they're trying to fix it over time and trying to make it better for those who are affected with the Crucible playlist, especially with the Valor rank and the Crucible ranks. It's been a situation that's been affected for a lot of people. Solstice of Heroes begins on July 31st. They didn't really went into much details on it in the Iron Banner, not Iron Banner, the this week at Bungie's article. I'm losing topic here. They haven't really much talked about it. They talked about some concerning things like the collections, what items from year 2 can be reacquired from the collections, and all that good stuff. Like I said, all that stuff is going to be in the description down below. I'm not going to read this to you guys because, look, you guys can read, and, you know, I'm not going to bore you guys with that stuff. But most importantly is the 400 power weapons is most importantly. So let me just read that for you guys. So of course, everything's going to be happening on update 1.2 1.3 on July 17th of next month. So a lot is going to be happening after Guardians Con. We believe players will be chasing after their 3 different pursuits in summer prestige raid layers. 400 power weapons. The only way to get 400 power armor before Forsaken is participate in the Summer Solstice event. But the only way to get 400 power weapons before Forsaken is completing the prestigious Spear of Stars and Eaters of Worlds. Every time you complete all those encounters in prestigious raid layer that week, you will be rewarded 400 power raid weapon. This can be any raid weapon from Destiny 2, not just a weapon that drops in the raid layer. Raid ornaments. Each prestige raid layer is own set to unique armor ornaments, exotic masterwork, both raid layers, and have masterwork that can be found only as a rare drop in those activities. So 400 light level, if you want, basically what they're saying is 400 power weapons. The only way to get those if you want 400 armor before Forsaken, you need to participate in the summer event. But if you want 400 power weapons, you need to do the prestigious raid layers. That's when you will get your gear to 400. Now remember, we did saw some of the docs on the complimentary for Destiny 2 Forsaken. Some of the power level we've seen so far goes up to 600. Now, would that stop it right there? Probably not. The power level might go up in the near future with their annual pass in that sense. But the power level that we saw so far during the video doc was 600. So, only for us to get to 600 pretty quickly and don't waste time is get to 400 in the summer event. By August, it might slow down a little bit until September. You might have a lot to do between the months of July and August to get yourself to 400. Because people don't really like to do the raids or anything like that. They do other things to participate themselves. Your armor will guarantee you 400. But if you want weapons, if you want to be completely 400 before Destiny 2 Forsaken, you got to complete 2 things. Do the summer event and do the raid. The raid will give you a power weapon of 400. The summer event will give you armor of 400. And then once you have those things together, you'll be at power 400 by the time Forsaken comes out. Maybe the recommended light for the first mission might be 380. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just guessing out of my brain. That might be the recommended power level when the game drops. And then further on and go on. It makes sense to get yourself to 400 before Destiny 2 Forsaken. I think that's pretty cool. And hopefully this will keep, the player base kind of going until September. Now, the event that they're going to be having, like I said, they didn't mention too much of it. They're going to be also having an update for development roadmap plan for early July, so stay tuned. They will have a roadmap kind of explaining everything. Solstice of Heroes begins July 31st. So if you need to take days off you need. July 31st, of course, that's the reset day on a Tuesday. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Just checking some calendar dates really quick for myself. Let's see here. So the most important date, of course, is Guardian Con. That is Friday and Saturday. And then the update, July 17th. That's the Tuesday for that whole week. And of course, the final faction rallies of Season 3. So they've been talking about faction rallies. We're going to be discussing that in another video. Discuss about faction rallies. What my initial thought, what I think about it. Some curators were talking about maybe a permanent one or maybe every 2 weeks to kind of get yourself to rank 50, because a lot of people said, like, look, we want to play the game as much as we can, we want to get all the necessary gear, but most of us work and most of us does have school, so it's really hard for us to basically kind of get ourselves to rank 50. So I think if they do have faction rallies, instead of 1 week and have it for 2 weeks, have the Iron Banner in the same week kind of too, then I think, you know, the tokens would drop a little bit faster and you would get yourself to rank 50. A lot of people said, well, why did you just couldn't keep it permanent for Destiny 1? Some people say it was kind of hard to get yourself to rank 50 in Destiny 1, which is true. I never got to rank 50 in Destiny 1 because I play other game modes and I didn't really collect all the bounties as much to rank myself to rank 50. So we're going to be talking about that in a later video, what my initial opinion about it. Do I feel should I have it 2 weeks or should I have it permanent? If you guys have any questions or any concerns related to this video, let me know in the comment section down below. In the meantime, let me get myself ready for work. And that was pretty much what it was covered. Everything will be in the description down below. Of course, this week's article, and of course this week's article will be in the description and the comment section down below, and of course on my Discord account if you guys follow me on Discord. In the meantime, if you guys like these videos, hit that thumbs up button, hit that dislike button if you didn't like it, and I'll catch you guys in the next post.